to the one-on-one media chat with Honorable Chris Okaeben, the honor representing the good people of Oredo West constituency in the Edo State House of Assembly. We're sorry, we were supposed to have him on set yesterday, but due to some logistical issue, he wasn't able to make it, and that's the reason why he had to come on set this morning for this one-on-one media chat. Honorable, you're welcome, sir.
Kerry, good morning. Good morning, listeners and viewers out there. It's my pleasure to be with Kerry this morning, and it's my pleasure to be talking directly to my people who really mean well for this nation. Good morning, Kerry.
Morning, sir. Let's get started, sir. Now, in 2015, a lot of Nigerians felt this wasn't the Nigeria of our dream. And a political party known as the All Progressive Congress came into the scene with the mind to better the lives of Nigeria. They sold to Nigeria a narrative which Nigerians believe. A lot of promises were made. Nigerians believed those promises and they were voted into power. 3.5 years along the line, how has the APC fared? And why do you feel Nigerians should bring back the All Progressive Congress?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kerry. And I believe this question is very important. And of course, taking our minds back to 2015 and the journey so far. For me, I must also thank Nigerians for rising up to the ovation then when we say we must change the narrative and change our attitudinal behavior, you know, and change our lackadaisical attitude to the way and manner of governance. And of course, that is the story today. Yes, flowing from the question, there's no doubt, even including your very self and so many of our sisters out there and brothers, did agree that the way Nigeria was, the way we were going in Nigeria, even the president then, Goodluck Jonathan, when he left office, and the president, Muhammadu Buhari, opened the books to him, what happened around him as a president, that were even unknown to President Jonathan. Innocent President Jonathan, I really sympathize with him. He's not here now, he's no longer in office. Jonathan meant well for this country, but around him he had characters who had no iota of love for this nation. And those were the real enemies of Nigeria. To suggest that we are all trying to shy away from the truth by thinking that it was all well in 2015, all well during that Jonathan's administration, is a fallacy. Because even before 2015, what was our security situation in Nigeria? Yaya bomb blast in the heart of Abuja, United Nations building. United Nations building, before that bomb blast, I have driven past that road. The security in that place is like an American embassy. But it was that bad. It exploded. The Boko Haram took their war to the doorstep of the United Nations. But we couldn't have held President Jonathan. Yes, we can hold him responsible because he was the chief security officer of this nation. But to a large extent, he cannot be everywhere at the same time. Hence, he set up different ministries and put people in various boards and parastatals and agencies, both paramilitary and what have you, in order for them to deal with security challenges in the country. And of course, it is not his duty to not be the one to be chest out, to be the one to fight those insurgents. But here we are, those who were given the responsibility, Alex Bado had just passed on, may he so rest in peace. We are aware how the security forces that passed through their hands, that they confiscated, they buried hard currency in an underground well, as if they thought the world was not going to end. We know how much money has been recovered from this country. By and large, we cannot, I have said in several forums, you see I've lost my voice, in an attempt to try to concentrate our people on where we are coming from, where we are now, and where we are going. Of course, if anyone is going to deceive himself, that you cannot talk about yesterday. Of course, if we don't talk about yesterday, if I didn't talk about yesterday, I cannot as well sit here and sit before you to grant this section, grant this first section we're having now. Of course, my mom carried me in 9 months in her tummy. That was why she gave birth to me. If there's no pregnancy, one of my sisters here wake up one morning and say, "Oh, please rejoice with me, I have a baby, I have a child." Of course, we must call her a witch. Where did the pregnancy come from? So, of course, we must talk about yesterday.
Okay.
In talking about yesterday, it reminds us of where we are now, and so that would inform us of where we want to go. And now, talking about where we are coming from. Between 1999 and 2015, let me bring it down to Edo. Between 1999 and 2007, what was the story of Edo? Okay, between 1999 and 2007, we had young men. We have very, very industrious and innovative young men and women who would have loved to come to their home state to want to put something on ground. But the fear was there that Benin is a small village. Because all you find, Airport Road was a one-lane road. Even on the one-lane road on Airport Road, you have to fight with some potholes to be able to navigate into the airport. That was the story of Edo between 1999 and 2007. The story of Edo was where you have Mami Water in the city center. Mami Water Shrine in the city center. The story of Edo was when we had Morocco and Spain at Maragoroti Junction, where my wife even attended Maragoroti Secondary School. And that school has produced very beautiful, wonderful sisters of ours who are doing so well in different endeavors all over the world today. But I can tell you right in their junction, Nawabagbe Ben, a very popular musician, took a canoe to that junction and started sailing with the canoe that he's moving from Morocco to Spain. All that happened in the city heart of Benin City. Because it's easy for Nigerians to forget now, but we must remind them where we are coming from. Between 1999 and 2007, my dear brother, Dr. Samuel Osagbogo of blessed memory was living inside an erosion-flooded area around the area in Wan environs, which is under my constituency in Ward 6. I recall when a woman once approached me that she wants to sell her house for 200,000 naira because all hope was lost. All the houses around that environment were inside water. But go around that area from 2008 to 2016. Of course, I will not also forget the Sonoro Costain, right there in my ward. In Sonoro Costain, if you walk past Sonoro Costain, you will be infected with cholera epidemic. Smell that comes from there, you will not want to imagine. Oshomole came on board in 2008 and he said, no, this should not be our own Edo. He changed the story. I would have never imagined in my own time that I would be able to enjoy the benefit of sighting a street light or even a traffic light in Benin City, not for the wonderful idea or rather leadership of Adam Solio Oshomole. When the water fountain in the Ring Road was functional, I did snap a picture there with my children. I sent it to my friends in London and my friends in Canada. They said, Chris, we are not starting our 419 again in our local language. And I said, what was that? He said, this is what you post now. How can you say this is Benin? I said, please, can you tell your sister and your mom to go to Ring Road? Let them snap a picture there. If they send you as anything different from this, never you trust me again. The mom went there on a Sunday. They snapped photograph and they sent it to him. He said, oh my God, this is awesome. That was the story between 2008 and 2016. As God will have it, okay? Now we have 8 years of PDP, 1999 to 2007. And in 2008 and 2016, we have 8 years of the APC. Now it is left for those of us who really mean well and are genuine in our conscience to now do a comparative analysis of this both leadership between 1999 2007 and 2008 and 2016. Of course, one was under PDP and the other one was under the APC. Secondly, Circular Road, I went to campaign there in 2015 and all the market women trooped out and they said they were not going to vote for us then in 2015. And I asked them why. They said, look at, they have no road for which they are doing business. And because we must be held accountable for our promises. And I did mention to them that they should not worry. With Adams Oshomole, this road will be tied. Today, secondary Circular Road from Akpapava all the way down to Sample Road is now an alternative route for those who want to come from Lagos going to Bo, going to Delta to come and connect Sample Road. Those are leadership values that we must bring on board. In any case, as much as people would want to say that, oh yes, because he's an APC man, he would want to sound like this. That is not the issue. It's about us talking about where we were yesterday. Okay, if you failed to give me food yesterday, of course, your wish for me was that I should die, so I cannot testify of today.
Okay.
And so, we must not, by any way, miss one sleep in trying to assume that all is not well under the Buhari government. Now, what people also fail to realize, this is a precedent. when I watch the TV and I hear people say APC government have been in government office now for 4 years, they promised us change. They could not promise any change. And I even heard the man of God. Where I have asked the question, okay, what does that happen to our value systems? And we all must rise up. In us changing the value systems of our country is charged from the family. Our families must now begin to ask questions. If I come home with a car my father will not buy, all throughout his 35 years in service, my father should ask me, Chris, what am you? We are the motto. Because that is what is responsible for today. At some point, it was kidnapping in Nigeria. Kidnapping is no other the order of the day. People now started going to Ghana to go and look for powers, to bring rapper, to cover their parents. Their parents would now bring them so much money. All of that. It has also moved and advanced from there, where young men now eat the physics. Physics, I mean, what a madman cannot even do. They will eat physics because one man told them, just eat your own shit. You see money pouring down your home. It has got to the point where young men kill their own mother. All because of the syndrome they have now come to live with. Share the money, share the money. The only way you can make money is, oh, PDP, share the money. We have shared the money and we have almost shared our future. And of course, these are concerns. We can stay on and on. We have moved away from that, Kere. Sometimes when these comedians crack jokes with it, we think it's funny. It's not funny. They have killed a lot of our young innocent sisters. Take away their body parts just because they want to make money. A young boy sees somebody driving a GLK, you are not interested in how the man got the money to drive a GLK. Then all of a sudden, you also want to ride the GLK. Oh, but show me road now. And the man tells you how to show you road. You follow him to Ghana, and you are somewhere where they not tell you, it's very easy. Don't look for one girl, remove her parts. Once you bring her parts, that brother will be the richest man like Dangote. Where has it led us to? Nowadays, our innocent sisters, even my own young daughter, was telling my wife, my first daughter is 16, was telling my wife that, mommy, I will be wearing pants again. Oh. I was watching social media and they say boys now take ladies' pants to go and make money. My own daughter. Then I now ask myself, what value systems are we going to bequeath to the younger generation?
That's quite a long one, Honorable. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions now based on what you just said. Now, there's this point. The society creates crime. The citizens commit crime. Now, if you check what you said so far, your analysis from Edo State down to national levels. Now, your assessment of good governance has to do with infrastructure in quotes. Roads. What happens to human capital development? Now, I'm going to ask you another question. Now, the definition of growth is in an irreversible increase in size. When you grow and you have to reverse back to where you are coming from, I don't think that is defined as growth. Now, talking about the fountain, the fountain at museum, what has happened to that project?
Good. You see, I'm glad. I'm going to take it off from where you started from, Kevin. The society creates crime, and the citizens commit. Citizens, of course, they don't really commit anymore. They become they begin to live with it as if it's a norm. Now, these are factors. Everywhere I've gone to campaign, I swear for the opposition, because everything we suffer today. And don't miss it. Today, I'm the first to admit, whether anyone likes it or not, some of us were started from the PDP background, and of course we saw the ways and manners they behaved in that place. We all moved away because we saw, before any other person, we saw sincerity in the person of Adam Soshomole, and then we killed under him. Now, why do I have a problem with the opposition today? Everything that you have talked about with relative to society creating the crime started with them. One, we gained our democracy in the year 1999. And from that 1999 was when militancy was recruited in Nigeria. The truth, we must be able to speak to them. Now, what did it start? It was operation, everybody hold your boundaries. How did militancy in Nigeria Delta start? Oh, resource control. Alamesea of Blessed Memory wanted to control his own resources in Bayelsa. Ibori of Delta said, no, don't cross my own boundary, this is my own line. Odili of Rivers said, this is my own line. And I'll tell you today, Odili gave birth to Tom Ateke. Ibori's government gave birth to Tompolo. Messiah's government gave birth to Boy Loaf and John Tongo and so many others. When these boys now became more powerful than government and became more powerful than the security agencies, of course, they descended on foreign investors in Nigeria, in the Niger Delta region. Kevin, you and I are from the Niger Delta region today. What we suffer today is a result of the fact that our own brothers chased out investors from our land. And those investors have left our land as, okay, you now develop your land yourself. And here we are, we cannot move forward. Which, of course, we cannot just wish away that it started in 1999, because I think Nigeria was so much in a hurry when we asked for independence, when we still needed to have been nurtured and deepened into democracy before we would have asked for independence. For those who asked for independence when they asked for it, I mean, we thank God for them that yes, they gave it to us then, but I think we were truly so much in a hurry to have achieved that. Because greed set in, when greed now set in, everybody was now fighting for their region. Today, what we have in this country, they've chased out all the investors in the Niger Delta region, and nobody wants to go near Delta, Rivers, or Edo anymore. Because, first of all, what an investor wants to know is that how secure is our investment going to be in your state? And then once you don't guarantee him, he's not going to bring this investment there. And that is what is certainly affecting our human capital development.
Okay. What about the issue of the fountain?
Fountain and the water. Now, the issue of the water fountain, I can recall with our Governor Godwin Obaseki. Of course, a lot of people call him today the wait-and-see governor. And of course, that is why we are very proud of him and the much he's doing for our state. A lot of transformation is also going on. I am not surprised because the foundation that was laid by Comrade Adams Ali Oshimole, because our campaign mantra, I have continuously canvassed this anywhere I go. Our campaign mantra when we were campaigning for Godwin Obaseki was continuity. That it wasn't going to be a fresh order, but it's for Godwin Obaseki to continue from where his predecessor stopped. And of course, what we are doing, like you can hear, he's been so bitter with the issue of power in Edo. And of course, we also do know that as much as he's battling that issue of power, because he has a lot of ideas he wants to bring to Edo, but with that power, some of these investors will not want to come. But I'm glad he's already making progress in that direction. And I think some of us raised the issue of that water fountain with him some time ago. And he had wanted to actually work on it before this last Christmas. Because for us, we did reminded him that being in office, this museum ground has a way of creating its own social activities during the Christmas period. Because a lot of our people who cannot travel to Lagos for Christmas, who cannot go to Dubai for Christmas and the New Year celebration, just coming to the water fountain, oh, they are in Dubai. And so we raised the issues with him. And for him, he wants to even make it, he wants to broaden the idea of the water fountain. He has a lot of ideas. You see, people are going to see a lot of surprises going to happen around that museum ground. It's not what we used to see before. Every leader has his own idea. It's not like they're waking up one day and they're going to find an overhead bridge crossing through the museum ground, and you don't have to see boat running across the road anymore, and you see flyovers crossing from Akpakpaba all the way down. You come down on Sapele Road and you continue your journey, so it doesn't in any way alter the traffic equation around the King Square.
Now, a lot of persons believe that, because we're actually speaking the mind of people, they believe out there that the Edo State House of Assembly is more or less like
a rubber stamp.
Not just a rubber stamp. I'm not going to use that cliche. I'm not going to use that cliche at all. They feel that it's an extended arm of government, of the executive.
Yeah.
So why is this so?
I'll tell you. For us, in the Edo State House of Assembly, we have been so battered, even by the civil society group. We have been so battered that we are on apron strings to the executive. You see, because the reason why they say so is because they want, what has happened in the old order is that you have an assembly who antagonizes the executive just for the sole purpose of what they can put in their pocket. And under the 6th assembly, what we try to do is not to be in bed romance with the executive, but is to first of all put the interests of our people at heart before our personal interest. And so in doing so, we must try as much as possible to flow in the same line with positive ideas of the executive. It's not in all situations we are going to accept whatever the executive proposes to us. But oftentimes, people may misinterpret it. I can cite an example. When the issue of the autonomy came, And it's the first time I'm going to be speaking to you publicly because I know your network is all over the world. When the issue of our autonomy came, the civil society group battered us and said we even voted against ourselves. And it's my pleasure to tell the entire world today, why should a legislature enjoy an autonomy when the true core of development, which is the grassroots, the local government, you are denying them the autonomy and you want to enjoy autonomy? That's selfish. Because it's simple. There are 3 tiers of government: the local, state, and the federal. If the federal is autonomous and the presidency is saying one of the reasons why states are not working and governors are beginning to take advantage of their innocent citizens is because the legislature are the beck and call, are the mercy of the executive, so the legislature must have their freedom. So therefore they must run an autonomy system of government where they can now begin to sit on their own and they don't rely.
Isn't that the normal?
That's supposed to be, but oftentimes before our career, let me tell you, it was not operating.
Okay.
Because the situation whereby the legislator needs money to fix their public address system, they need to write to the executive for money, then of course they don't have freedom. In a situation where we are supposed to go for parliamentary conference, just to broaden our knowledge in the legislative business of the house, and we now have to go at the mercy of the executive to kneel down and say, sir, we need money. I mean, Ghana wrote to us, United Nations wants us to. Delta was in Washington, D.C. on a parliamentary seminar in the United Nations General Assembly. But though we couldn't boast of it because our resources are very little.
Okay.
But the reason why Delta was able to do that because they have some little level of autonomy where the governor is on his own, they are on their own.
Okay.
When the governor wants anything from them, but we didn't want to create that atmosphere in Edo. Why? Because we didn't want the governor. Like you are aware, the governor only came in 2016. And of course, looking at his background, he's from the investment sector, investment banking sector. And when we saw a lot of programs that he has and the level of speed that he required, we needed to give him all the support. We wanted to make sacrifice. We wanted to lose everything that would have been entitled to us.
Including your autonomy.
Listen, on the issue of our autonomy, it was not at the expense of the executive.
Okay.
Understand me?
Okay.
Us losing our autonomy was because when we understood that there was also a cabal working at some point that the local government must not enjoy autonomy, then we were the first to raise our alarm to say, okay, if the local government cannot have an autonomy, then I do not see, because they will come and unleash us. We are all from a local government. I'm from Oredo local government, even though Oredo has 2 constituencies. The speaker is from Akoko Edo local government, even though he has 2 constituencies. On and before we became, I was once a councillor. I was once a secretary to local government. And I'm very familiar with what obtains and the problems that are confronted with the local government. And what is the local government suffering? Is because they do not have their freedom. And so, if as a house, we are seeking for our own freedom, first of all, we must seek freedom for what gave birth to us.
But it takes it free to create freedom for the oppressed. If you are not free, you cannot seek for freedom for someone that is bound.
That is why I agree with you.
Okay.
As much as we took that decision to the executive, to us, for some of us, we regretted that action.
Okay, that's fine.
I would not want to even shy away from it.
That's fine.
It was an action we regretted because at the end of the day, we told our speaker. Our speaker was on the same page with I and a few others who said, let's take this autonomy for our own and fight that of the local government thereafter. Okay. But of course, at the later on, we said, okay, let's see what happens. And of course, it was even less than a day for the time to elapse. So they didn't bother to wait for a day anymore. It was clear that there was no. And at the time, the speaker and I heard later in the evening that 25 states has passed it. So it was easy for me to just go inside my fridge and take a bottle of red wine and say, congratulations, at least the battle have just started. That's where we are today in terms of our freedom.
Okay, that's fine. Now, you know, there's no way I would let you go off the hook without asking.
I'm going to spend a lot of time with you.
Okay, great. Now, the question I want to ask you now, what is happening to Central Hospital? I know you didn't expect to get this question from us.
You are trying to slam me. Now, if I really wish to be sincere,
okay,
to my electorates, of course, then I would not, because the beginning of representation And what you owe your people as a representative, it's at all point in time. Tell them the truth.
The truth.
It's a social contract you have with them.
Yeah.
And a witness to that social contract you stand with your people is the God Almighty in heaven. Of course, the Central Hospital, the idea was conceived by the Adams Shomali administration. The idea was delivered by him. The edifice is there today. The president came here, it was commissioned. And of course, I can tell you, the Central Hospital is ready and fully ready to be utilized.
Commissioned in 2016, Honorable.
It was commissioned, yeah?
Commissioned, I need to bring you to speed to the event, the timeline of that hospital. An hospital that was built with taxpayers' money, commissioned for use in 2016, and this is 2019.
Underlined.
Okay.
I'm happy and I'm glad with what you said.
Okay.
Commissioned with the taxpayers' money.
Money, yeah.
The only way Nigeria will grow is when we begin to ask questions as you're asking me now. Because I have played my own part. The functions of the legislators, because oftentimes in the past we have made mistakes, and even those who have seeked elective offices in the legislature have ended up probably putting themselves in a dilemma by going to make promises that they are going to build hospitals, they are going to purchase helicopters, unknown to them that your functions is just to make good laws for the good governance of the people and to appropriate for the executive to spend for the good welfare of our people.
And oversight.
And oversight the activities of the executive. And in doing so, in oversighting the executive, the functions of the executive, that is where we come in the issue of the Central Hospital. To ask, why is this hospital not being used by our people? Now, why I'm going to move away completely, because there is more to what the eyes can see.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there's this Freedom of Information Bill that entails that every Nigerian should have access to information.
Let me tell you that in any Nigerian having access to information, I have always, you see, when we travel abroad, if even these my beautiful comrades who are here,
okay,
you understand. There was a day I was in London Sunday. I was so pressed. I couldn't hold it. My brother was driving. So he now got to a point he wanted to buy fuel. And I thought I was in Nigeria. I ran to the side of one first. I started opening my zip. My brother almost hit the car in his front when he jumped out of the car just to hold me. He said, "Na jail you want go, so not cause I'm saying you go jail." I said, "To peace again." Yeah. He said, "Everywhere is a camera. Before I drive this front, they will block us, they go arrest you." That is a society where the people know that laws are operational. If the Prime Minister misbehaves today in London, a UK citizen will go and rise up to say, this you have done is unacceptable. But Nigeria, the reason why we suffer what we suffer today, the reasons why we have lost so many of our relations on our highways, because nobody has sued federal government that it was because of your bad road that we lost our illustrious son.
But I've been said
on this.
Okay.
On this.
Okay.
I have yet to see a Nigerian who should sue me, those leaders of assembly, to court, asking us why. This question you have asked me now. Why our taxpayers' money, we are not enjoying it when this edifice have been built for the comfort and utilization of our people.
Honorable, I believe one of the activities you must get yourself involved in as a legislator is organizing town hall meetings. And I believe, I want to assume, though I'm not your constituency, I want to assume that severally you organize town hall meetings, and there's no way for the past 3.5 years you organize a town hall meeting and people will not bring this issue of Central Hospital to bear. Now the question is this: when you return to the house, is this issue not strong enough for you guys to be concerned?
Returning back to the house, this issue is a burning issue.
Burning issue, good. So
Let me not jump the gun.
Give answers. Why?
Let me not jump the gun. Of course, we have invited them.
Okay, have they come?
The only excuse they have had to give to us, the reasons they've given to us, let me not say an excuse now.
Okay.
Is inductive. Let me say the reasons they've given to us is that those equipments requires, I'm sure, the training of the manpower is what they gave to have been the issue. But just also like we also ask, 2 years is too long the time to train our people to utilize those equipments. Okay? And if that be the case, that's why I said I didn't want to jump the guns. Because being that there's a committee work on it already, I'm sure you have been following up with what's been happening just before we started our primaries. Because of letters that have come from the public, concerned citizens, the Speaker took an action to say, let's investigate why the Central Hospital is not working. But I was also the first to say, why have we waited all this long?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, my own take on this is, let's wait for the report of the committee by February 25th or 27th when we are reopening the House, which I'm sure the issue will come up, where the final report of the other committee that was set up may now be officially presented.
Honorable, I want to ask you this question. Has there been any point in time where the members in the House gather themselves and say they are going to the hospital to take a tour to see this equipment?
We took a tour and the equipment are there.
I know the equipment were there. When you were taking the tour, was there any video clip? As in, were the press allowed to accompany you on this tour?
I didn't go on this tour.
Okay.
Under the leadership of one TV and speaker.
Okay.
Was when we took a tour there, and I'm sure there's still a video clip of it. Okay, let me tell you, you guys don't waste 1 minute.
Okay.
We are all citizens of Nigeria, and TSL should also enjoy the privilege of writing to the Ministry of Health and asking the commissioner to fix a date that you want to take a tour of the facility.
That's fine. Now let's move further. Now, you said something that the duty of the legislator is just to make laws and also do the oversight function. But the question is this: your party, the All Progressives Congress, 3.5 years down the line, it seems they have a lot of promises they made to Nigeria, what I call their covenant. But it looks as if it is only corruption that your party they are fighting. The issue of food security, zero. Power supply, like you said, like I think Edo State is an example as far as that is concerned. We are not enjoying that all in this state. Free education, not working. Devolution of power, accelerated economic growth. Nothing seems to be working.
I will tend to differ from two issues you raised.
Okay.
Free education not working is not true.
Okay.
In Edo, our free education system is operational.
Okay.
You can go to any of the institutions.
Okay.
It's operational. It has been operational since the damn social models administration. And even till now, Governor Obaseki also introduced the Edo Best, which is now further enhancing the ability of our teachers in all our institutions. Now, on the issue of food security, what is the problem today in Nigeria? The problem in Nigeria is because some few cabals don't feel comfortable from the day, let's understand it, from the day Buhari was declared winner, they all immediately ran into an executive section. The cabals, so to speak, ran into an executive section to say, never, this man, we are all going to be finished. And therefore, when we talk about food security, is that there is no availability of food? Is it that there are no farmlands to farm? The issues are clear that this same opposition as it is today have so spoiled our youth with oil resources. We have oil blocks, we have oil well, now they control the oil. And therefore, when a lot of our young men, now you can see the manpower you have here, creating their time, devoting their precious time to say, this is also going to be their own contribution to their society. But once upon a time, under the Jonathan administration, we have people who cannot spell their name. They were living the presidential suite of Transcorp Hilton all throughout the period of Jonathan's administration. That presidential suite in Hilton, go and find out how much it is a night. It's not less than $500,000 a night. If not 1.something million a night. And people stay there for one whole month. How much is it for one whole month? And stay there for 4 years. People who cannot spell their name. Why? Because for all they care, they just saw that there was a tap where you can always go, open the tap, and money will pour out. And they are good to go. And all throughout these 6 years of Jonathan's administration, not one of them went back home to go and site a health center or site a hospital. That's why There's one man I respect today, Tom Polo. The much he made and the much he got, he went back to where he came from, the creek. Built houses in his places for those who can. Not even build health centers, hospitals, because he knew that was lacking. But how many of them from Bayelsa, from Rivers, can point to say, oh, this is an office I own, that I have 5 staffs working under me? Of course there's not. Now coming back to the issue of food security. When I was coming from Port Harcourt last week, when I saw these river fish, I bought 5. Very big. I said, oh boy, in Niger Delta region, we are trying, this is what Buhari is saying, we should eat what we produce. Right here on bypass, Sample Road here, okay, Wells Farm is there. Wells Farm produces the best tomatoes today in the whole of Nigeria. President came here to see it himself. Wells Farm. These same tomatoes are tomatoes we used to import from South Africa before now. This same tomatoes that is being produced from Wells Farms here in Bypass is the same tomatoes that used to be imported by ShopRite. When you say everybody running to ShopRite, you see them in that log tray, you see tomatoes, fresh pepper, green pepper. Why can we not produce it here? Of course, from the north, they bring cabbage to south. From the north, they bring carrot to south. From the north, they bring tatashe to south. From the north, they bring fresh pepper to south. From the north, they bring beans to south. From the north, they bring rams to south. From the north, they bring goat to south. From the north, they bring cow to south. What are we producing by ourselves in the south region? So when we are talking about food security, our soil is very fertile. When I was growing up, I used to go to the village to uproot cassava in my father's farm. When it's approaching February, March like this, I used to dig hole. My father would give me a portion. You say, we'll dig you 500. Okay, at the end of 3 days, I'll be in the farm. At the end of the year, there was a year my father's barn. The yams, one of them is shattered at my laps. In this same land. How many of us can boast of even knowing where we know our village is today, or where we can identify farm to farm? Now let's come back home, like you have mentioned. The reason why the president, I've also told you now, those who wanted the president dead, God abolished their mission. Because for some people, they ought to have been dead since. You know the story. He was poisoned. Buhari suffered chemical poison. Because those who never liked him, who knew his antecedents, said they will all be finished. And they did not want him to work. And now let me tell you one of the reasons why his government was very slow and why he was not able to do so much, even when I am convinced, no matter what anybody will tell me. On the issue of security, at least, thank God today, we are able to reduce it to only Bono. Unlike it was before, when we can talk about Abuja, talk about Kefi, talk about Yaya, talk about Yobe, talk about Adamawa. It has reduced now to, by the grace of God. I'm not praising Buhari here, but I am telling Nigerians, we must not fail to mention that when you say a party ruled for 16 years and one other party has only ruled for 4 years, and you are even convinced with yourself to be able to judge this administration by only mere 4 years, then you are not being fair.
I think I beg to differ in this. You see, what we've asked a lot of Nigerians questions, we do Vox Pop on a daily basis. The assessment of the PDP and the APC is not in terms of the years. The assessment has to do with, these guys, they came into power, APC came into power with the change mantra. Let's take our mind out of development now. Let's look at what have they done differently? What have they done differently from what the PDP used to do? That's the issue now. Listen, what have they done differently?
Listen, I can tell you, I can name them. What the APC have done differently is that President Muhammadu Buhari has said, listen, the money where civil servants used to loot money before and go and be building estates. Even somebody who is a director, not a permanent secretary, who own estates in Benin or in Abuja, that must never happen again. a situation where people bury money. You saw it, we all saw it clearly.
Yes, sir.
People bury money in underground wells.
So, sir, maybe I have to remind you, you're saying something now that the Kaba, we have Kaba in the PDP, Kaba in BDP around good luck. And yeah, there was a time that even the wife of the president of this country came out to say that we have a Kaba ruling this country. The husband is not aware of what's going on in Nigeria.
God bless you. Listen, Kerry, I agree with you. The wife of the president even admitted to it. And I'm telling you that I myself, I also do admit to it. So that the president have it. In every system there is a cabal.
So what has everything come to do differently?
Listen, what the president has come to do differently is, first of all, let's block the loopholes. And before we descend on those who are with us inside the house.
If you feel it is better for you to deal with the external enemy before dealing with the internal enemy.
Listen, if you don't lock the, let me tell you, if you do not lock the gate leading into your house first, before you come and lock your door, you say, okay, I mean, I could lock the mate is not enter house.
Okay.
If they gain access through the main gate, of course, what is left for you?
Is there corruption in the APC?
I will not deny that there's no corruption.
Good. So now a lot of us believe that the corruption that the president is fighting,
there's a bad end.
That Nigeria believe that the corruption the APC is fighting, or the president is fighting, is one-sided. They're essentially fighting the opposition and not fighting against corruption.
That, you know, when I told you before,
okay,
I said today, I started by telling you some elements who were in PDP before are now in APC. You heard me when I said that.
Yes,
so I will leave my reservations there.
Okay, now you said something about the issue of security. Now, national, you said you were actually hitting it on the national level. Now, let's come down to Edo State.
Yes.
I somewhat commend the effort of the House of Assembly for passing the law against cultism. Now, it has not helped. We see here cases of court killings around Upper Sakwamba areas. And I want to believe your duty is to make laws and not to implement these laws. But I believe that you have the oversight function of also ensuring that these laws
are strict compliance.
They're strict compliance. So what are you doing about it? You guys don't hear this news of court killings.
I'm glad you did admit that, yes, we've taken up, we've performed our legislative duties in ensuring that the law is put in place to fight cultism. But let me also tell you, this is what we are talking about. It's not about Buhari, it's about ourselves as citizens of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Everybody has a role to play. These cultists, they live in our areas. They live in our environment. Some of them are related to us. Some of them are our friends. Okay? Now, it's just like you say, the government is saying, save the souls of our innocent youths who are using the Libya border through the Mediterranean Sea.
Yeah.
As they are bringing some back now, go and check the route, more are still on the route.
That's true.
So, what that brings to mind is we are going to continue to try to speak to the conscience of our people. Even inside the churches today, they are cultists. Inside the churches. I visited a church one time. Somebody kept shaking me. To leave my hand, he don't really leave my hand. He will shake me again, and you know, not going to understand the shake. I said, bro, how now? He said, I said, they look my eyes like this. And I left. Somebody asked him to me that. That guy was asking him that, ain't he say you be strong man, but will I say na negative? I said, I wish him well. No wonder he didn't leave my hand. Even with all the signs he gave to me inside the church. So, the question is, we can only pray to God Almighty to touch the hearts of our brothers.
A lot of persons feel that when governance is reduced to the extent of those in authority like you are doing now start depending on God for a change, it's a failure. Because there's a time I believe the president said something that it is only God that can change Nigeria. So when it gets to a point that we are not, leaders are not depending on God for change.
Because you know why? In an attempt for you to try to change a system, and people, some persons are there saying over our dead body,
it won't work.
It will not work.
Okay.
So what then do you do?
And there's a law to get these persons and put them behind bars to serve as a deterrent to other persons.
No, listen, Kerry, let's be not fairness. We don't do respect the security institutions. You know, of course, they are not supposed to. Whatever actions they take in terms of prosecution is also supposed to be a daily affair. But I must tell you, a lot of arrests has been made.
Yes, arrest of those former boys in the streets.
Yes.
But you know what? Once the leader, once the head is caught and prosecuted,
the other flies will fly.
They fly.
That was what worked for Godwin Obaseki. Let me tell you the reason why we are enjoying a relative peace. Let me tell you, forget this. Just really recently, these court boys were now trying to rear their head. I'm sure you can take your mind back to what happened with the CDA issues, the Community Development Association chairman and what have you.
A nice move.
It was a bad one before Obaseki came.
Yeah.
In this state, they beheaded an Odion of a community and hung his head in the junction of the community, just to put fear in the entire villagers. Which, however, Monobane Beko Apolopolo, Ewa Ogidigan II, said, it will not happen in a kingdom that he presides over. And he sat down with the governor and said, we must do the needful. Today, what did the governor do? He said, now, these young boys usually have kingpins who give them backings. When they are arrested, they are the first to show up at the police station to say, he's my boy. He went after those ones first. You can recall, I don't need to mention names. Some of them were arrested, sent behind bars, and when he sent them behind bars, the small ones now said, oh boy, this man will kill all of us for her to catch Babang people for prison. And of course, all of them now behave themselves. So it's a grand, by the grace of God, I am very confident. You see, these things that you and I have fears over is the same fear that even insiders of APC have. That if Baba comes back, we hope there's not going to be a case of Jerry Rollins in Nigeria where we don't gather all of us inside one room and kill us. That is the fear they have. Of course, and that's why some of them don't want him to come back. But by the grace of God.
Now, to wrap up this chat, you're going to look to the cameras now and speak to the people of Oredo West constituency and tell them why they should re-elect you back to the National Assembly. My good people of Oredo West constituency and my brothers and sisters, even those who are in the diaspora, I want to thank all of you and thank God Almighty for the privilege you have given to me to serve you in these first 4 years in the Edo State House of Assembly. And thanking you all for also keeping the social contract I've had with you people and believing even in a better future ahead. As the elections are approaching, I leave my testimony in your hands, that you all look at my performance in the last 4 years, do a SWOT analysis of my person, my strength, my weakness, opportunities available to us for the next 4 years, and the threats that we may perceive for the next 4 years. And I'm sure by the grace of God, giving me another second chance or another opportunity, is to further broaden and strengthen the relationship I've shared and enjoyed with you people in these first 4 years. Of course, I don't talk about the first 4 years because I haven't served you as a secretary to local government, as a whole local government as a whole. I haven't been a commissioner here in the state by you people's goodwill. And today, serving you as your House of Assembly member, I believe it can only but strengthen our relationship for me to do more for you people. I can only pray for God Almighty to give us a peaceful elections, that come March 2nd, we'll all be out there in our numbers to re-elect me as your voice again in the House. And like my mantra says, Fresh Hope 2019, I see fresh hopes ahead. Fresh hopes for those women who are yet to still benefit from my Women Empowerment Program. Fresh hopes from those young men who have benefited from me and who are still looking up for other better opportunities. A fresh hope for our teeming youths who are hoping for a better future. And I believe the transformation of any society begins with one step. And I also believe the ideas that shape the world starts with just a few people. And with all of us coming together, we can make Oredo West a better place for all of us. May God bless us all and a happy new year. Thank you very much. And this is where we call it a wrap on the 101 chat this morning. Come 6 p.m. this evening, we will come on set again. I'll be having another guest with us. But this is what I want you guys to do. If you're watching us via our Facebook or YouTube platform, please do yourself a favor by downloading the TSN Nigeria TV mobile app. You can get it on the Google Play Store. You can get it also on the App Store. All you need to do, just search for the keyword TSN Nigeria TV. Download it on your phone and you are good to go. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.